Good morning. This is Grandpa Roy filling in for Grandma Rose this morning. She's doing better, but she's still not quite up to doing her videos, so we'll be looking forward to getting her back as soon as possible. But right now, you're having to just put up with Grandpa Roy. Sometimes we are asked by our followers on our channel what we do when we have to have something to stop a craving. You know, when you're on low carb and you just can't go out and eat a candy bar anytime you want to, or maybe a piece of cake, or something else that you're craving, whatever it is, and we don't ever know what causes us to crave, but we get to craving. And craves are pretty agitating if you really have a bad one. So we have some things that we eat, and we sometimes eat them for a meal. Sometimes we eat them for a snack, but they're always low carb load, between say 2.5 and 5. Anything under 10 is low carb load, low GL load, like low glycemic load, as most diabetics track it. Keto people track it as low carb. Diabetics track it usually as low glycemic load. So you can look at it either way. Basically, a glycemic load of 1 equates to 1 carb. 1 carb is 1 gram of glucose, which is sugar, and 1 GL is the equivalent effect on your body's glucose as the effect of 1 carb of glucose, 1 gram of glucose. So they're very closely related, but they're not exactly the same thing, because a carb is a specific measure that is 1 gram of glucose. That's a carb. But the effect of different carbs on your body can vary pretty to a large degree. Starchy foods really impact your body. That's breads, potatoes, rice, sugars, sweet drinks, sweet fruit drinks. Those all really drive the blood sugar up in your bloodstream, and therefore your glucose has to go way up to fight it. So either way you measure it, you want to keep your low your snacks and treats if you're on low carb, or even if you're in keto. And we're not keto, we're just low carb. Rose and I are, because we're just on maintenance. But what I want to show you today is a couple of low carb treats that we use when we're just craving and we don't want to go crazy on a big bar of candy. The first one I'm going to start with is something I use sausage for. Sausage is a meat. It's low carb, basically 0 carb. And so I'm going to show you how I take sausage and apple and peanut butter and make a delicious breakfast, any meal you wanted to, or a snack if you're craving something. And the peanut butter really helps lower the carb load effect. It also stretches out your satisfaction after you've eaten it, so that you don't get hungry again. Peanut butter fights the hunger, and so it really works well to use peanut butter in your snacks if you're trying to stay low carb load. So let's just take a look at what we do. First of all, we cook the sausage. So I'm going to cook a couple of sausage patties. Just a couple of sausage patties in our air fryer. We already know that this takes 5 minutes. It's set for 5 minutes, so we're going to cook it for 5 minutes. And while that's cooking, we can put this away, because we're not going to cook any more of the sausage. What I do with the apple now, if I'm just wanting a snack, I'll eat about a half apple with the sausage with a little peanut butter. If I'm eating this for breakfast, which I often do, I'll eat a whole apple. Now, a whole medium apple, this one's been washed, and so I'm just gonna cut it here. A whole apple, medium apple, is about 5 GL. The glycemic load, the effect on your body, is about 5 carbs. That's the effect, even though the carbs in the apple may be higher, because of the fiber and the other ingredients in the apple, your body can't access all of those carbs anyway, so some of those carbs are passed through. So in that case, we can take advantage of that and say, okay, I'm going to eat half of this, but that gives me about 2.5 carbs or 2.5 GL against my daily amount, whatever I have set. A normal person that's in maintenance and not trying to lose weight, usually on the GL scale, usually eats 100 GL, a glycemic load of 100 a day. If you're trying to stay in keto using GL, you want to stay below 20 GL for the day, and of course that affects the individual. But again, we're not ourselves in keto, so we're not worried about that. But we are trying to eat something that satisfies us without shooting our blood sugar up, which tells us to put on fat. If your blood sugar goes up high in a spike, it tells your body to put on fat, store fat. We don't want that. So we're going to keep it, the glycemic level down low. So we have the apples ready. Now, the other thing we eat with this is peanut butter. Now, the glycemic load of peanut butter is under 1 per tablespoon. So I'm going to take out, approximate a tablespoon here. So this is under 1. And what I do, I just don't count as long as I'm eating no more than a tablespoon. Actually, the actual serving size of peanut butter is 2 tablespoons, but I'm just eating 1 here, so I know that I'm not getting into trouble with the glycemic load or carbs in the peanut butter. And remember, peanut butter helps dampen the effect of the other carbs on your body because it prevents the other carbs from being digested very rapidly and becoming available to your body before they're passed through the body. So this is one of the things that I eat. Let me place this over here. One of the things I eat when I'm really wanting something that has a sweet taste to it, because the apple provides that, and also that is very satisfying and will keep me with no cravings until the next meal, because of the peanut butter and the meat, of course, helps do that. Well, while that is cooking and we have about 1 more minute, our 5 minutes is up over here on our sausage. And so our sausage are ready. Showing you how we use the air fryer just to fix a quick snack. Now you can use this as a snack. You can use half this much, or you can use this much, just depending on what you're doing. But now, how do I eat this? Well, it's very simple. In the morning, I get a good hot cup of coffee, which I have here. And I usually just take the apple, put some peanut butter on it. Boy, that's good already. This is so close to being pancakes and sausage and peanut butter and syrup to me. And I'm just going to tell you, that for this, you're at 2.5 GL, or basically 2.5 carbs for this snack. And a lot of people I know think you can't eat fruit, and if that's the way you're taught and that's what you're going by. But if you study glycemic load, you'll find that you can have the apple. Now, if you eat the whole apple, the 2 pieces of meat and the peanut butter for breakfast, it's a very robust breakfast. You won't get hungry through the day. And of course, you can use it any time of the day you want as a snack. And it really is satisfying. It'll put you through the day without cravings. And that really helps if you're trying to stay low carb load, low glycemic load. This is the first of a series of videos we're going to make to cover different foods that we use that are low carb to kill our cravings, because everybody gets cravings. So this first one, we used apples, we used sausage from the air fryer, and peanut butter to create a delicious low carb snack or meal that you can use to kill those cravings and stay satisfied. This is part 1, so we'll stop here. The next video we'll cover using these low carb tortilla shells and show you how we make some delicious low carb snacks or meals using these. So God bless you. For Grandmama Rose, this is Grandpa Roy, and as you know, food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, God feeds the soul. Do something good for somebody and look for the next part.